Now you might see this game and be like, that can't be from 2025. It is. It is.
That's the first thing you're gonna say. You're just gonna insult the game like that?
It's not an insult. It looks like it's an older game.
Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tylor, daily makeup Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And we're here with our annual video of the top 10 board games of the year.
Of 2025.
That is the year.
That's correct.
Can you believe the year has flown by?
Yes, I'm not surprised.
I think it has been the shortest and the longest year of my life
Yeah.
at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it feels really long, but if somebody was to ask me about it, I'd be like, I don't know what I did.
There's a lot that happened. So, when compiling this list, we tried to follow 3 key rules.
Yes.
Rule number 1 is the game had to have been released in 2025 or close to 2025.
Lingering. Yeah.
So it was like near the end of 2024, or it's 2024 and maybe we didn't fully get to it.
There was a game that could have been contender for 2024, but we didn't play it enough because it was released in November kind of thing.
Or we maybe just didn't have the time. So we want to make sure we give every game a fair shot. So if there's some little carryovers, that's okay. Rule number 2, no prototypes. Because games may change. And we played the prototype, and the final game is a little bit different. What if it's not our top 10 game of the year?
That is true, yeah.
Well, what if it got ruined?
What if it stayed exactly the same?
Then it could have been.
There you go.
But then it's in
you'll find out
contention for the next year. Exactly. And the last rule is we had to have played this game.
Well, of course.
Which I think makes sense. But having said that, we have played over 300 games in the year of 2025. Not all of them fit that first 2 criteria, but I would say we played probably over 100, if not 150, games that are eligible for our top 10 list.
Yeah, I don't know. The top 10, I mean, it was pretty easy to fairly easy to narrow in because it was like, if I remembered the game, it was worthy of being a contender kind of thing.
Is that...
Because there's definitely some games that we played over this year that were new that kind of just like faded into the background for me.
Oh, wow. Just coming right for them, I guess.
Oh, well, you're not going to like all of them.
That's true that. With that said, we're here with the videos. We do have honorable mentions. We're going to go from the bottom of the list to the top of the list. If there's any crossover between our lists, we're going to talk about them when the game appears higher on either of our lists. And we also have a little bit of surprise and potential giveaway near the end of the video. So stay tuned because it's actually pretty fun. Now the last thing I'll mention is it is freezing where we live.
It's not that cold.
It is very cold.
It's been colder here.
And Tyler runs her house very cold.
That is not true. It is 21 degrees.
It is not 21 degrees.
20 to 21 degrees
Tyler
Celsius
runs her
in
house,
our house
at 17
all the
degrees.
time.
It's very cold. So I'm wearing a hat.
No.
So you should make bets.
We're in the basement.
On how long it will take me to take this hat off because I get too warm.
50 minutes in.
So that's the first challenge for the video, I guess. But that said, let's go to the honorable mentions. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
This is the one time that I actually approve of honorable mentions.
Yay.
So I'm going to start.
Okay.
Alright, my honorable mentions are these 3 games. Stone Spine Architects, A Wild Adventure, and 7 Wonders.
A Wild
Dice.
Venture.
Wild Venture, sorry. I get it mixed up.
I feel like
because
it's easy to say
You
A
say
Wild
it quickly
Adventure.
enough and it sounds like adventure anyways.
A wild venture, W's and V's.
A Wild
No.
Venture. Where do I begin? This is a fun little dungeon crawling, like set collecting grid builder, I guess, that fits the map really great. I think it's perfect for the cartographer world, and it's just a lot of fun. I like the variability in this game. It's fantastic. So give it a shot. And it gets restrictive the further and further you go down. So you want to make sure you're trying to get your map correct, or at least as correct as can be. This is a 2-player game where you're sort of deck building. I want to say you are deck building because you are playing against each other to go out, explore the world, and then also like it's a wild venture. You are collecting resources. The cool thing about this game is the scoring. Is you are going to score based on the cards that you end up utilizing. You'll hide them into like a discard, basically face down, but at the end of it you'll score based on how well you were able to balance that deck. The highest multiplied by the lowest, I believe it ends up being. My one qualm with it is I think it could have been a more than 2-player game. I think that this is a great two-player game, but I'm also like trying to look for the lines where it's like, oh, okay, was it actually a strictly two-player? So I'm interested. I like it. I will play it again for sure. Honorable mention. Last honorable mention, Seven Wonders Dice. This is a lot of fun. It's in the Seven Wonders world. It has this cool little box where you shake the dice in, put it in the middle, lift it up, simultaneous play, but where the dice are is how expensive you have, or how expensive the actions are. And you'll play through, you'll build your little engine, you'll get better and better, you'll cross things off, you'll score points, you'll gain money, you'll gain other things. It's a lot of fun.
Those are some good honorable mentions.
Exactly.
Are mine better?
I don't know. What are yours?
We'll find out. Now, pow, pow, pow.
Is a chopper.
Is that how choppers sound?
No, that's just, I think, a song or a meme.
Oh, don't know it. Well, here are my 3 honorable mentions, and I could only have 3. Tyler restricted me from having more. I did have more, so if you want to learn about them, maybe ask me about them, and maybe I'll tell you. But we'll start off over here. We have Fathom, which I feel sad because I feel like it's not as talked about as some of the other games. And I really, really enjoyed this game because essentially what you're doing is you're playing over 6 rounds, diving in a little submarine and a ship, observing a variety of species on your little board, trying to create different patterns to score them at the end of the game. It's very clever. There's a little section that guides you through everything that you're doing. The user experience in this game, the way it guides you through the game is just... And it's a really, really pretty game, as you can tell, obviously, by the cover of the game. Speaking of pretty games, the second one I have is Emberheart, with that beautiful Andrew Bosley art. Now, this game is really interesting because you're sending hirelings, so workers of stacks of different amount of workers to take priority in different actions. And your goal is to become the best dragon ambassador, essentially, or the dragon ambassador of this world. You'll acquire hero cards, which will score you a lot of points, but a lot of what you'll be doing is rescuing dragons, and doing it strategically because various dragons you collect and control will score the most points that you possibly can. So if you bring that harmony and you avoid the evil poachers, you'll do really well in this game. It's very clever, feels very different than anything I have played. And last but not least, we have Sanctuary, the Arc Nova game. This is a tile placement game that's kind of medium-ish, medium-heavy, medium-ish, where you're placing tiles and you're building your sanctuary of animals. Now, how things interact with each other, the way you program your actions so you can do the things that you want to do is really clever. If you enjoy Arc Nova, this is a condensed experience, but in a different way, I think. It tickles different parts of your brain, but it has similar DNA. And I just love the presentation of it. It really flows really smoothly. You start with this bare board, and then you fill it up with all these beautiful animals. And you can collect the same animals, which will give you bonus points, because then there's even more Sanctuary in the world. How do you feel about my honorable mentions?
I like your honorable mentions. They were all contenders for me.
They were pretty good. Now we're on to our top 10. My ears are starting to get warm.
It's only been like 15 minutes.
Well, that's what you said. Now, we'll start off with Tyler's number 10, which is...
Railroad Tiles. It's first of all just beautiful. Let me start with that. But the second thing is it is based off of Railroad Inc., which is the roll and write, which roll and write. We are absolute lovers of this game. I just like the simplicity of it. The scoring is always neat, and there's so much game that is still really simple to get into, but not difficult to like go through again and again and again. And the variability is quite enjoyable. This game does a fantastic job of pulling what I really liked about Railroad Inc. and putting it into a tile version of the game. It's more restrictive in the sense of your ability to be able to pick these tiles because it's a tile drafting game. When you do pick those tiles, you're going to place them into your tableau based on what you're trying to go for. And then you're also going to place down one of the 3 different types of traveling methods onto your board in the appropriate spaces, and that will help you with scoring eventually. But the way that you do that, the planning ahead, the thinking through things, or determining how to like close roads off because you don't want them to go off the edge of the board, is really interesting, really fun. It really pops on this game, and it gets progressively more intense as you go further on in the game. There's a bunch of different tiles that can be added into the game as well that will be placed onto your board as extra bonuses, which help kind of guide your strategy, but you don't have to place them right away. A certain tile has to come up and then you get to place them. So it's fun to be able to juggle through all of that. And that is essentially Railroad Tiles and why I enjoy it.
I thought it'd be really similar to Railroad Inc. and we'd have to like decide which one to get, but it really stands its own ground. And I love that both this game and Railroad Inc. there's like hundreds of expansions. They just throw them at you. But they're really accessible. They're really easy to introduce and they're not overwhelming like some of the other games.
Yeah, it's more of just it adds a lot more variability to the game while still being able to play the same type of game. And in this instance, it just like fits for me because I like I don't want to say repetitive, but it is repetitive in like a positive connotation, where I enjoy that type of repetitiveness that I want to play more of it with just like the subtle changes that it offers.
I like it.
That's a Railroad Tiles, my number 10.
Now my number 10 is 3 Chapters. Now I fell in love with this game the first time I played it, which was without you. It was at Canada Plays, and I'm like, Tyler, we need to play this game. The reason I fell in love with it is because it has a lot of familiar fairy tale, not creatures, because some of them are people, fairy tale characters that are just lovely to see, and the art style is gorgeous. But it is a game that is played in 3 phases, where in the first phase you're going to draft cards, pass them around the table that can potentially interact with each other or with other cards in the next phase, which is the trick-taking phase. In the trick-taking phase, everyone plays a card, and based on the other cards played, your card may earn you different things, depending if it's the highest, depending on its abilities and how it interacts with everything. You will keep your card, though, because in the last phase, you're going to score your entire hand. You'll place them all and how they interact with each other based on their abilities. You'll get the hearts, the stars, or the gems. This game is so simple with those 3 phases, the 3 chapters in the game, but it's just delightful. And I feel like every time we've played it multiple times. We want to come back to it. And I would love to see more in this game. Like, I can't wait. Yeah, I'd love to. What if another 50 cards are added?
Yeah, you're right.
What if it's
a different version
expansion or mixing? Like, it's just such a easy, clean system to introduce people to that it's become one of my favorite games to just show to people generally because it's so easy to teach as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's really quick to play too, so like that's really awesome. My favorite part about the game is like, not most games, but some games that have decks in them, they remove cards. So you're not always going to necessarily have those interactions that exist in some of the cards, which means you're never going to be able to fully know what you're going to be able to accomplish at the table and whether or not you should be like drafting really strong cards early on, because you never actually know if they're really strong in this instance.
Until all the cards get passed around and you have a little bit of an idea. But that is 3 chapters, my number 10.
Boom. Alright, my number 9 is this game down here, which is a little heavy, but it is SETI. And this is one of the ones that I'm kind of cheating on, I guess, because it was technically released in 2024, but it was very hard for us to get, and we didn't get it until later in the year. And then we didn't play it until this year. We played this at one of the conventions, local conventions that we have, and it was fantastic. One of our friends taught this game to us, and at first, like, it looks intimidating on the table, like it is a big table presence, but once you get going, it is actually such a smooth game, especially if you've played a bit more on the like medium to heavyweight type games. This was fantastic, easy to get to, and I was like engaged basically the entire time. I did feel a little bit bad because of the way the scoring was going. I was so behind in certain things, but that's the cool thing about it, is even though there's intermediate scoring that goes on throughout the game, you never truly know who's going to actually come out with the win until the very, very end, because there's a bunch of these end game scoring things that happen, and you can score a lot from this game. I don't really even know how to begin explaining the type of like things that you're going to be doing throughout this game, but you are basically going to be playing cards down, doing the actions based on the resources that you have, and then like sequencing yourself to explore outer space and the extraterrestrial intelligence. There are, I think it comes with 6, maybe more. There are there are extraterrestrial intelligence in this game that you will discover, and they mix and match, so you'll never really know until a certain point in the game which ones you're dealing with. And it really can like sway in the direction of the strategy that you were going for. I love just being able to think on the fly like that rather than having like my strategy fully developed at the very first levels of the game. I think adaptability is one of the things that I look for in a game, especially that's going to take a bit longer. But that combined with the ease of play and ease of integration into this game felt very, very good. And overall, it just made me happy while we were playing it. So
I think you'll hear me say this multiple times in this video, but when heavier or mid to heavyweight games make it easy to introduce yourself to and kind of flow through the actions and what you're doing,
yes,
I love it.
Exactly.
It's simple, it's great.
Yeah. There you go. That is SETI.
Now, my number 9 is a little bit poopy.
Oh, like literally, isn't it?
Like literally.
I knew it.
Because it is Night Soil.
Oy.
Now, let's give you an overview of Night Soil. In Night Soil, you compete as rival Night Soil companies, working day and night to turn waste into profit in the streets of London. Each round is split into 4 phases. Most of the gameplay will occur in the day and night phases. During the day, you'll send your workers across the city to take actions like advertising for your company, improving your own assets, and influencing local patrons, while leaving behind more waste to clean up later. At night, you'll use laborer cards to maneuver night soil cubes throughout the city, clearing the streets and earning coins for your efforts. At the end of it all, the player with the most coins will win. Now, the reason this game has really spoke to me is honestly the presentation and the theme. Because, first of all, the art style in this game is outstanding. It is so unique. It is unlike any of the games that we own. And then the theme is the same, but it's not in a distasteful way, I would say. Because you see a lot of the poop games, and it's the poop emoji, and it's funny, it's a gimmick. But here, it takes a historical concept that is not that far away. Like sewage is fairly new in human society. So the fact that we're exploring a theme of how sewage was dealt with prior to sewage really being invented and revolutionized, it's really interesting. And the fact that you're these companies trying to clean up the streets of London at night because you don't want to do it during the day, that would be such a little bit messy. You don't want to make a scene with what you're doing. But besides the theme, the mechanics in this game are wonderful. You're placing workers, you're taking actions, and then you're moving poop around.
You are.
In the best way possible to score the most points. It's very strategic. It's very interesting to see the game evolve over time. And it's one that I think will stick in our collection for quite a long time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like the way that the workers play in this specifically. Just like the ability to like, one turn you might have a whole bunch of them, next turn you might not, but you'll still be able to do a lot of things. It's really interesting to like balance that, and the card engines that you end up building.
So good. And that is Night Soil. Now for each of our number 8s,
we're skipping it
and going straight to number 7s.
Which we'll start with my number 7, which is this game called Point Galaxy. This is a successor, or what's the right word I'm thinking of?
It's a trequel, because it's the 3rd sequel.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. This is the 3rd game in the point world, and following Point Salad and Point City, and Point Galaxy goes back to the roots of what Point City did, or Point
Silly.
Point Silly.
That's the 4th game.
That should be. So it goes back to the roots of what Point Salad did really well, and that is simply you are taking cards and placing them into your tableau. And this time, instead of building a salad or like mixing your sets, you are building a solar system, multiple solar systems, I suppose.
The suns,
yeah. And it's just like a lot of fun to be collecting all of these things. It's a level up from Point Salad, so if you were playing that a lot with your friends and family, I think like easing them into this is like a fun little way to bring in a bit more strategy to the game while still sticking with that like whimsical like bit of luck, hoping you get the right cards, being able to place them out, somebody doesn't take yours. And not the smartest person is not always going to win this game, and I think that is a really good nod to board games, because I want to be able to come out with a clutch random win because I had some really good luck. right?
I wouldn't say there's that much luck into it.
I'm not saying there's that much luck, but I'm just saying in general, that's a
true.
good feeling to have.
You can pull the right card and make things work.
Yeah. So it works out. There's a lot of different ways to score this point. A lot of different ways to score points in this game. That's what also makes me happy about this game. It's just trying to piece it all together, puzzle it all together to make sure you're doing it the best compared to everybody else, and I think that's a lot of fun.
Ton of fun.
Yeah!
I can't wait for Point Silly.
Point Silly.
Is that the fourth game? Now, my number 7 has a similar color scheme.
Similar color? Yeah.
Which is Gloomies.
Gloomies. The Sillies.
Just fell in love with this game. I don't know what it was. I think I love when a game just guides you through it really, really well. And this is what this game does. It's played in 2 rounds that almost feel like separate games. Phases. Yeah. And in each of the first phase, you're going to play cards to plant flowers on this beautiful board that actually goes inside the box. Mm-hmm. So already, gorgeous table presents, delicious flowers in the night light. Beautiful.
Yes.
And you're playing the cards, you're placing the flowers, and you're obtaining some more cards that you're going to play, but also some orders of what you're going to fulfill in the next phase, which is exciting. There's a little bit of set collection, a little bit of strategically planning of how you're going to plant flowers, because there's a lot of bonuses that you'll get. Mm-hmm. Now, in the second phase, what you're going to do is you're going to use those cards that you've played to play the flowers to now harvest the flowers and get them for points or for the orders that you've collected. And the flow of it all is just so smooth. The board just guides you what to do. It's such a gorgeous game. The Gloomies are so delightful. The little helpers are so cute. Again, this is a game I played without Tylor at first. And I actually woke him up in the middle of the night. I'm like, Tylor?
Yeah, it was...
We need to play Gloomies. It is very good. I'm very excited about it.
Y'all think he's exaggerating, but I remember it vividly. I was sleeping.
Sometimes you have to wake people up when there's exciting news. You don't wake people up for bad news. If the house is on fire, you'll let them sleep. But if it's good news...
like a great game.
You have to
can play
wake
tomorrow.
them up. We have to wake them up. It must be done. But that is Gloomies. I really, really like it. Do you have any thoughts on Gloomies?
It's fun because I'm only just thinking about this now, that it's like one of those games where you make a mess and then clean it up kind of thing. And I think that's like really cool. But
a game that puts away itself.
Quoted. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say. It is a really fun game. I do really like the 2 phases, and I'm happy to see it in your top 10.
That's my number 7, Gloomies.
Okay, my number 6. I'm going to say this right now that I think it was I was most surprised to have this one on my list.
Okay.
But I love this game. And it's called A Carnivore Did It.
Who did it?
A carnivore. Well, you don't actually know if a carnivore
Sometimes it's a herbivore.
Yeah.
Deceptive title.
Or is it? So in this game, you're basically, there's 2,000, oh my gosh, I can't even remember how many, over 2,000 cases, 2,000 different types of cases. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to pick a scenario, you're going to set it up, and then it's going to give you some criteria. So some of the criteria, the criteria is always going to be how many lies there are and how many culprits there are. And then you have to figure out who committed the crime.
Who are the culprits?
Yeah,
if there's 1 or 2 or 3 of them.
And the way you'll do that is you'll set out all these cards, you'll set out the animals, and then each of the animals will then get like a saying that they'll be associated with. Mm-hmm. Now you have to figure out how that puzzle works perfectly. And there is only one answer. There's only one right answer, and you have to figure it out. So it's fun to be able to go through it.
But how do you figure it out?
Well, deducting.
Duct tape.
This game is a logic puzzle, essentially, all about deducing who done it. And maybe a carnivore did it, maybe they didn't. It's so much fun. Even at solo, like you could just set up a game, play it really quickly, and you're gonna have fun. If you don't get it right away because maybe you're not in the right mindset, it takes up such little space that you can just walk away, come back to it, and do it again.
I thought you were going to say if you don't get it right away, you can just check what the answer is on the back and move on to the next one.
Check the answer.
There's 2,000. You could just look at the answers of some of them.
Yeah, you're probably never going to come back to that one and remember the exact answer anyway.
You might.
But The fun thing also is you can play it it's intended to be played co-op. So you play this game and you have the scenario set out in front of you and everybody is going to be taking a swing at trying to guess it. But it's really interesting to see how everybody's thought process and then like patiently waiting to be like, oh no. Like actually maybe this, and this. I love that. I think it's so interesting. I think it's so fun. And then you're all going towards that common goal of figuring out what it is, and I really, really enjoy it.
And you can also play competitively. How fast can you solve it? You can just write down the number and see who does it first. Yeah. There's just, I feel like this is one of the most valuable games for what it is.
It is. It's also one of those games that I continue to think about that I'm like, how does this not exist already? Yeah. Because I'm a huge fan of Turing Machine. I love like the Search for Planet X. I love those series. But this is just like reduced down into cards. And it's fantastic.
And a small box.
Yeah.
2,000 scenarios. Think of all the hours of fun you can have.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's somewhere out there, if you really got exhausted from all of the things, there might be even like a thing online that you can figure out.
I'll be surprised if you get through the 2,000 scenarios.
Yeah, that would be impressive.
That's very impressive.
Anyways, that is my number 6. A Carnivore Did It.
My number 6 is A Frienda. Now, it's so funny because every game we brought out, the box has been upside down. The back is upside down.
Yeah, Ilya puts the games away.
What is that supposed to mean?
That if that was the case, this wouldn't happen.
Oh.
Because I don't like it when it's
Are you volunteering
You can
to
actually
clean
tell
up?
which ones I put away.
None of them?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Now, this game the theme is based on the Day of the Dead, and you're building an ofrenda, which is essentially an altar of a bunch of pictures of all the loved ones who have passed away. Now, the way this game works is each turn, out of the 12 turns, you're going to draft a card, and you're going to play one of the cards into your ofrenda. You are trying to meet the objectives on the card that interact with adjacent portraits, and there's also candles that will score you additional points based on conditions that are met.
Yes.
And marigolds that double your point, or increase your points, I believe. I don't remember specifically. But what's really cool about this game is it's one of those games, and one of the things I love very, very much. In the beginning, the world is a magical place.
It is, yeah.
Everything is going by so smoothly. You have a perfect strategy. You're going to score a maximum amount of points. And then 4 or 5 turns into the game, everything is on fire. You have to start making sacrifices. You have not thought that sacrifices would happen this early. Now you're giving up a spot, and it's a very valuable spot, and you haven't got this card. And what the heck are you going to do? How are you going to beat Tylor, who's going really, really well, and everything is working out for him? How are you going to do that?
You're just not. It's fine.
So, as irritated as I get at that, I love that feeling in games. Like, Calico is one of my favorite games. In this game, if you like Calico, you will love
like this one.
It is just so unique. It's so different. The art style is just so inviting. And it's unlike any other game in our collection. So, that's why it is my number 6. And it's one of the games that I look forward to sharing with people as more time goes on.
It is a good game. I like showing this one to people.
When I die, I would like to be
easy to get in. It says it's 60 minutes to play, but I would say like once you get going, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then it just gets brain burning at the end, I guess.
Lots of brain melt.
And sad, because you can't get it.
Or very happy when you do get it on that 1% chance.
True.
That's what we strive for.
There you go. That's your number 6, right?
Yep. A Frienda.
Okay, before we move on, how warm are you?
The tips of my ears
are sweating.
They're not sweating. They're a little warm. You know when you tell a little bit of a fib?
Like how cold our house is?
Our house is freezing. If anyone ever has visited our house, please comment down below and tell everybody that I'm not a liar. And in fact, Tylor likes to freeze anyone in sight.
I do like being cold, but that doesn't mean I will make everybody else suffer.
Partially true. Partially untrue. Now we're on to our number 5, which we're going to skip Tylor and go directly to mine. And my number 5 is a game called Wingspan. I love Wingspan.
You do?
I love Wormspan. And I love Finspan. Now, this game I was really curious about because I was wondering if it was going to be... Because Wormspan essentially took Wingspan and made it a bit more complex.
Yes.
Added a little bit of layers to it, added the caves, added a little bit of length to the game as well. Feels more hobby than mass market.
Yep.
So I was curious to see where Finspan would land. And I think Finspan is a little bit more approachable than Wingspan.
100%.
It is a little bit less difficult. It's a little bit easier to grasp every concept. But it's unique in its own way, where all of a sudden, the board rotates. It's now vertical. But not only that, there's a bunch of new mechanics that really make the game shine on its own. Now, in this game, similar to Wingspan, you're either playing fish or you're diving now.
You're diving.
And as you're diving, as you visit fish in different sections of the ocean, you'll get various bonuses. And this game is a delight, and I'm mainly saying that because I really enjoy fish. I don't like the ocean. I would never want to go down onto discover the ocean, see what's underneath. That's horrifying. It's terrifying. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I can live through it in a game is friendly and wonderful because all these fish are gorgeous. There's some fun facts about them. And getting to strategize your brain into building some combinations, catching some eggs, creating some young into schools, and then having a ton of schools that squash Tylor schools.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah, Finspan does a really good job of keeping everything on the board. That's what I will say, is I really appreciate, is everything you are doing is typically done on the board, and you each have your own discard pile, so you're working with that when you are drawing from the discard, and then you're also just like drawing from the global thing, but that's basically it, and you're referencing, I guess, the goals that will be happening. Otherwise, you are able to kind of just like focus on your board, and then benefit, or maybe sometimes not, from what other people are doing, because their actions will activate things for you sometimes.
I love when that happens. The only thing I think I would love to see in it in the future, if there's expansions, is I like personal goals. I think they're fun. Like in Wingspan, you have your little goal and you're like, am I going to be able to do it?
Yeah.
It's just a nice little push.
It is a good little addition that would be nice, yeah. Okay.
But that is Finspan, my number 5.
So technically not skipping my number 5 because it's your number 4, so we can just do it right now.
An alignment. A perfect alignment.
Not perfect, but almost. It's this game called Moon Colony Bloodbath. Now you might see this game and be like, that can't be from 2025. It is. It is.
That's the first thing you're gonna say. You're just gonna insult the game like that?
It's not an insult. It looks like it's an older game, and I love that for this game. But it's brand new. It's this year.
Check out this old looking game. It's so good.
It's so good. It's in our top 10. So. Alright, take it away.
In Moon Colony Bloodbath, it is a bloodbath because you're establishing a moon colony, but everyone is doing the same.
Yeah.
And things in space don't always go right. Robots malfunction, things go wrong, and then people die.
You also just need to be conscious of feeding people.
You also have to feed people. You don't want to forget to feed people because people need sustenance in order to thrive and survive.
Yes.
Now, the way you do this is there's a shared deck that is played, and a card is revealed, and everyone will take the action on the card. Now, there's work phases, work cards, that essentially let you do a variety of work actions which are on your board.
Yes.
Sometimes this is gaining money, sometimes this is gaining food, and sometimes it's building a variety of buildings, which is the core aspect of this game. Because if you build buildings, more people become a part of your colony, and you want to have the most amount of people in order to win.
Yeah, because this is an engine building game with those buildings, because some of those buildings, now when you take another action, will give you extra benefits.
Now, what's really neat about this game is the end game trigger, because the game ends when somebody has died all their people.
Somebody's moon colony has truly gone out the door.
Dead. It's a bloodbath. And then the person with the most people at that point is the winner. However, there's another endgame condition. And it is if you reach event 13.
Yes.
And we have momentously,
with 5 players.
With 5 players in a grand moment, reached the end. Which I didn't think would ever happen.
I might say, I don't know if this is true, but I felt like with 5 players, maybe it was easier to get to the end. I don't think so. But I also don't think so.
Because usually there's one player that does really poorly. But we all were champions.
We have gamers in our
We build
groups.
good moon colonies, and we thrived all the way to event 13. But I guess we didn't also even talk about how the game progresses.
No.
The really cool aspect of it, too, is that little deck begins to with cards, events, robots that kill you, things that people die, but also good things sometimes. But maybe the perks that only benefit you. And a card is flipped and it's like, huh, I get 2 people.
Only
All you
someone's-
other suckers, nothing.
Exactly. Nothing.
Nothing.
It is true, though, because that deck will get bigger and bigger, but once it runs out, you get to reset those work tokens, and then you're able to hopefully get those cards come up when you need them and take more actions. Now, you're probably wondering, why is it called a bloodbath? And that's because there's robots that can be added into this game that will really take your population for a downward spiral. And most of the time, that's because exactly what Ilya's doing. They malfunction. And you have to sort of balance that. Those can really change things, and you have to maybe even hopefully plan for it. But it's hard to do that when the deck is getting bigger and you don't know what's going to come up next.
You don't know.
Mm-mm.
And that has been this old looking
Old game from 1980.
No, Tyler. It is a 2025 hit, Moon Colony Bloodbath.
You mean this wasn't the game that they brought to the moon landing?
I can't believe you.
I will say one more thing. I want to say one more thing, that it's fun because it pushes you into 2 different directions. You want to do the best, obviously, because that's great.
And
but
you don't want to do the worst.
you don't want to do the worst. But there's also this like team push that's like, hey, if we made it all the way to the end, this would be really great. And then you are actually just competing for who can have the most thriving colony. And that is really fun because the engine building in this game is really exciting. And the way that you can filter through cards is quite quick. So you'll be able to find a lot of different ways to be able to manipulate the game in the way you want it to.
And it has a solo mode, which I think
does.
I would actually enjoy.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I would, but I'm not much of a solo gamer. Anyways, my number 5, your number 4. Moon Colony
Oh, that was my
Bloodbath.
number 5, but it's my number 4. Hooray!
Now onto my number 4, which I feel like I'm not surprised that this is on my list, but it is called Forest Shuffle Dartmoor.
I am shocked this game didn't make my list.
I'm mad that it didn't make your list. No, just kidding. But Forest Shuffle is probably one of my favorite games.
And my favorite game.
Yeah, one of my favorite games of all time. Forest Shuffle Dartmoor is a standalone game that has the exact same mechanics as Forest Shuffle, except it introduces moors, which are a different way to build ecosystems in the game.
And don't forget about the asymmetric caves.
Yeah, there are also asymmetric caves, which is a lot of fun, but I think the main thing is that. Yeah, anyways, there's a bunch of different species that do a bunch of different things in this game that, like in Forest Shuffle, will score you a bunch of points. It is simply a hand management game, in my opinion, where you are trying to get out all of your critters and your plants, ecosystems, everything to make it all work the best way possible, finding those combos, finding those ways to score the most points, while also being mindful of what you're discarding. And I think that's my favorite part about the game, is it is really important to pay attention to those types of things when you start playing it more and more, because you can end up passing people the wrong cards that will ultimately snowball them to victory, and it doesn't always feel the greatest, but it is fun to be able to be like, okay, I need to hold on to this card for a little, or there's so many cards in the middle, if I discard this now, all of them are going away. And then it's a fun
And
little
Tyler
puzzle.
really needs one of the ones from the middle, so
Exactly.
let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you intend all those puns you did?
Maybe.
More and more?
More and more. No, I didn't.
And the snowball, because winter's coming?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Wow.
All those Forest
Look at me
Shuffle
go.
enthusiasts.
Yeah.
That's for you. That's a special little one right there.
But that's Forest Shuffle Dartmoor. Again, it's just like another Forest Shuffle that I really enjoyed. It was very similar to Forest Shuffle with these small changes that definitely makes me want to keep it on the shelf. It's also small, so like...
I also think this is a brilliant system. And I
do
would
too. I
love
think it
to
is a good
see,
system.
is there a Forest Shuffle Oceans?
Wow.
Ocean Shuffle?
Can't be called Forest Shuffle, yeah.
A Desert Shuffle?
I'm excited to see what they do. They've released a couple expansions for Forest Shuffle, but not for Dartmoor yet.
Is there going to be more?
And who knows?
And the
what's
expansions are
coming.
so fun because you just throw them in,
Mhm.
and it tells you to take cards out.
Yeah.
But I don't do it.
No, you have to take cards out because that's the fun of the game. Is because some of the combos are like. Anyways. Forest Shuffle.
Well,
Dartmoor.
you still the ending is still unknown.
You're right.
So there's some
right.
cards that you may not see.
Uh.
Do you just drop my glasses?
No, I think it was.
That was my
the-
glasses.
Well, maybe you should put your glasses there. That's my number 3. No, my number 4. My number 4
4. So my number 3.
is my number 8. We're finally
Ooh.
back there.
Our big crossovers, the big jumps
Yes.
that are happening,
Yeah.
is Salt Fjord.
I put this one away.
Because the back is correct. Tyler does put games away. Wow. Now, this game also may be cheating because I don't know if it was released specifically in 2025.
I actually think this was a Essen release in 2024, maybe.
I think maybe. But it is also a remake of an older game.
Oh, okay. That part I didn't actually know.
You thought you did know that.
Maybe, but it was tucked away somewhere
In the back
in the part where nobody remembers. So
now this game is brilliant because what
It's
you're
fun.
doing in it is you're building this little village up tiles. Then there's these dice that you'll take, and then you'll follow along on a row or column and activate all the actions there, landing on one of them. Now the actions are potentially building up your village more. It's potentially going fishing. It's going one of the tech trees and getting upgrades to what you're doing. All in this delightful experience of 3 rounds. This game, no words. I enjoyed it so much, and I am sad now reflecting that we haven't played it more this year.
I know. I was thinking the same thing because this game is fantastic. I really like the engine build that goes on in this game, and because of the dice, you do really have to like pay attention to what's going on because you do rows or columns based on the dice color that you take. But the fun thing about it is it starts you off relatively slow. The entire game starts out really slow, right? But you build yourself up by placing these tiles into your own board. You start collecting more and more resources. You start getting the upgrades that exist out there. But you also are not trying to go into every single one of them. You just have to kind of like play what you're given. And I think that's really interesting in terms of like adapting to the game, making it work for you, but starting out slow and then growing into a larger puzzle is really fantastic.
I also love how brave this game is.
Brave.
Do you know why? Because all the other games, they're going to be like, oh, we have 10 resources. Let's create a resource for each of them to give a little cutout or a little wooden piece.
Right.
Here, no.
One board.
You have a board and you have cubes, and the cubes will travel based on what the resources are. And sometimes your fish will become a chair. And is that...
Well...
Or wood.
Yeah.
Well, which will later become a chair. So who knows what's going to happen in the world of Salt Fjord. But joking aside, I think that board is brilliant. It's a brilliant way to look at resources, see how they're managed, convert up, convert down, and integrate it in a way that's really easy for you to use. Rather than trying to sort and figure out, does this go here? Is this what is actually needed? It is just such a clever design, and everything just flows so well that I want to play this game. I think I've decided we're going to play it after this video.
Probably not, because I need to go to volleyball, but we can put on the list to play in December.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing I'll say about this game is there's a lot of ways to score points in this game. There's like a push your luck element, there's like a set collection element, and then of course I've already said it before, but there's an engine building element that will lean into these things that go on, and it's just a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. And that is
Salt Fjord. My number 3 is a game that I remember being on my anticipated list, and I'm happy it lived up to that anticipation.
It lived up to your anticipation?
It's called the Peak Team Rangers, and this is a co-op game where you're... I put this one away too. Sorry, distracted. But this is a co-op game where you're going to be taking the roles of rangers. You're going to be moving around this board, collecting different waypoints, basically researching the animals that live in the area, and you'll be moving around based on the cards that you're able to play, and taking actions based on the cards you have. But the fun thing about this game, and the wild thing about this game, is that at the very beginning of each round, you're going to be given 4 cards. Those 4 cards are not your cards. And if you have any other cards carried over, you also have to distribute those cards as well. Which is a fun little strategy piece in terms of like holding onto your cards.
And how do you distribute them?
Because what you're going to do is you're going to, as evenly as possible, distribute them to the players to the left and right.
And you can't keep
And
any?
You can't keep any of them.
So what cards do you get?
You get the cards that are passed back to you from the person on your left and right, obviously. And I think that that is super interesting because it makes everybody look at the board, kind of decide what players would be better off with, and really make their decisions intentional on how they're going to support each other based on the cards that they have in their hand at the starting of the round. I love that co-op aspect of it already. That being said, you continue into the gameplay, and it's really, really fun to puzzle together the amount of actions you're able to take. Because it's not just like this free-for-all of like, I need to take all of the actions I can possibly do because of X, Y, and Z. It's more along the lines of, maybe I should only do 2 actions this turn, because if I end up here, I'll be able to meet with Ilya, who will be able to do this. And then there's this cascading effect that I think is really, really joyful to like see that plan out and have everybody kind of work through that puzzle as they're playing the game. It's really great.
It feels really thematic too, because at the beginning you say, okay, here's where we're at. This is what we need to do. Here's everyone's assignments for the day.
Yes.
And then you're passing cards and you're like, uh-oh, I can't really help Tylor at all. So I have to give him these cards and just hope he makes the best out of them. And you try, sometimes during hikes and during these adventures, things don't go your way. And it's about adapting and being resilient, which is what Peak Team really teaches you and introduces you to.
Yeah, exactly. And the goals that come up throughout the game are great. It's also modular in the sense that you can start at the different level, and you can work yourself up to the highest level, which we haven't even gotten to yet. But I look forward to when we are able to successfully get through that.
And we definitely will, because we have friends that really enjoy this game.
I really like this one,
and we've committed to playing all of it with them.
And that is my number 3, the Peak Team Rangers.
Now, on to my number 2.
Number 2.
Which is Whispering Woods. This game will destroy your brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this is a tile placement game where each turn you're going to take tiles from the center, either to place face up or goal side up with an animal on top of it. Now, you'll be doing all of this in order to fulfill the goals you've set out that you'll do. Now, the way you fulfill the goals is you have your little animal and you move through the tiles that are listed on the goal tile, which sounds simple in the beginning. But the layer of strategy that comes in there is once you're done, the initial tile is removed, you'll score points for that one, and the tile you land on is flipped and becomes a new goal. And you can do that multiple times per turn, which means you can chain. And the more that you chain with potentially the same animal or different animals, the more points you'll score from bonus cards. So you can do a lot of big brain thinking and planning, but the end of the game is looming. Tylor's completing goals left, right, and center. Sure, they're worth low points, but you have something really big you're planning. Will you be able to pull it off before he finishes the game and triggers the end of the game? This game is one of those games that it seems so simple in premise, but you start playing it and your brain just breaks. There's so many things you can do. There's so many ways you can place tiles, and you're trying to think 8 steps ahead. But it's hard to think 8 steps ahead because not everybody's a genius. But there's joy in what's happening in this game, because sometimes you place a tile and you just feel so smart, and sometimes you place a tile and you feel like a big dummy because you could have placed it here and everything would have worked smoothly, but you just weren't thinking for that turn. Also, the animals are cute, the art is really fun, and the tiles in this game are thick, which I also like because it means they will last. With my grip,
your claw fingers. Nom nom nom.
What do you think of Whispering Woods?
I think it hurts my brain, for sure. But I also think it's really interesting because, like Ilya was alluding to, is you can have these giant combos that are sort of planned, but you have to be very careful when you time those, because if you don't get it off in time, you're going to be left with like a pretty low score. So first of all, maybe that's a strategy tip I would make sure you're not trying to like follow, is don't go for the huge big victory unless you are super confident you can get it in time. Or you could just do like these smaller ones that will build up. That's not always going to win you the game though, because if you do get the chain combo, it's worth it.
And I think there's a lot of familiarity with this game as well, because in the middle, there are tiles, and that pool will dwindle and change round to round, and you're going to see new tiles come up. Maybe it's the tile that Tylor really needs. Do you take that away to detriment him?
Absolutely.
Because maybe you can use it, but it's not the best tile for you. So I think that, paired with a unique scoring mechanism in this game, is just, it's so good. It's another one I think we'll play tonight.
No. But we can play it soon.
And that is Whispering Woods. Now, before we go on to our number one, we wanted to say thank you.
We did.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on our journey. This year we hit our 5 years. And it's just been so fun to create content, be silly, and share the joy of board games.
I agree. You paused like I was going to say something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying something right now.
What is it?
No, I definitely agree with Ilya. It's been a lot of fun. I think we would not still be doing this if we weren't having fun. That's the whole thing. That's the whole intention with this. It doesn't take away from what we've been doing or how we've been enjoying board games. It adds a lot more. We get to hang out with new people. We get to go to conventions. We get to meet and play and teach games to a lot of new people and a lot of friends. And it's just like a great, very, very nice thing that we get to be able to
It's
do.
honestly an honor to be
is.
an advocate for this hobby, and we're really grateful for you helping us be an advocate because we get to just be nerds talking about games, which is so fun. Who doesn't want to do that?
Exactly, yeah.
So in order to say thank you, we are going to do a giveaway in our top 10 video.
But what is this giveaway?
It's actually a mystery box.
What? A mystery box?
How fun is that? So in this mystery box, there's going to be a game or a couple of games. There's also going to be a handmade crochet something from Tylor.
To be determined, yeah.
Well, maybe we know, but we're just not sharing.
Exactly.
And then there'll be a bunch of little knickknacks and goodies that you can expect. It'll be a care package put together with love from yours truly.
Yeah.
Now, how may you enter, you may wonder. Well, all you have to do is leave a comment down below telling us about a favorite game of yours from 2025. Now, it doesn't have to be released in 2025. It can be just a game you played that you really had a good time with. And bonus points if you tell us a fun memory of that game as well.
True, yes. Yeah.
Now, we're not only going to give one of these boxes away, we're going to do 3. Isn't that amazing?
Wow, I didn't even know.
One of these boxes we are going to give on YouTube. Okay. So it's a YouTube exclusive box. That's how you're going to win it. One of the boxes is going to be through our Discord. So if you have not yet joined our Discord, click that join the Discord button in the description. It's completely free. You can join our community. If you've never been to Discord, it's essentially a forum of a bunch of different channels where you can engage and partake and talk about anything. Sometimes it's board games, sometimes it's TV shows, sometimes it's giving us feedback for our channel.
True.
And sometimes it's about Pokemon. Who knows? Yeah. We have a fun little community there, and we're really grateful to all the folks there. So we want to do a mystery box there. And we're going to do a mystery box for our Patreon members. Feel free to check out our Patreon. It has a little bit of additional content there. We try to do a little bit of car vlogs in there, or lists of upcoming content, a little bit of sneak peeks of what's coming up. It's our way of saying thank you for supporting us and giving us that contribution as well. So we are going to do a box there as well. So there's those 3 ways. How do you enter again?
Easy. Just comment. Exist there. Join us.
Join us. What's the claw machine when they're like...
It's the claw. The claw. What? That's Toy Story.
Yeah, but don't they like take me or something?
Yeah. No, they just scream the claw.
Are we the claw in this instance?
I guess so.
Oh, you're supposed to levitate.
I missed the mark, sorry.
That's okay. But that is our giveaway, that is our thank you, and that is our question of the day as well. What is a game that you deeply, deeply loved in 2025? Tell us about it.
Yeah.
But now, you've been waiting patiently, and we are here with our...
Number ones. But they're both crossovers on our lists, actually.
So they're not just number ones.
Yeah, exactly.
There's something else as well.
Do you want to start with yours, or do you want to start with mine?
We can start with yours.
Okay. My number 1 for 2025, I feel like to no surprise for people who have been watching our content for a while, is this game called Galactic Cruise. Now, yeah, exactly. This is also Ilya's number 8, so we finally got there. But in this game, you are putting together cruises in outer space. You're basically taking part in all of it, or from marketing it to getting guests on board to launching the ship to collecting those resources.
That's a lot of work.
You are doing all of it.
Do you get paid fairly for all the work?
I don't know, maybe if you do it right, probably. But in this game, you're going to be placing your workers onto this board, and the fun thing about that board is it's very modular. The base is is very recommended, but it does vary, and that's one of the things I love about it. But otherwise, there's just so much in this game that I really, really enjoy. The theme is amazing. The variability is fantastic. I love the different strategies that I've been able to discover through this. I can kind of like pick and choose where I want to go, and that's where the actions get a lot of fun, is based on how they're paired up and based on where they are on the board. You're able to kind of like chain combo some of these actions and use them in very specific ways to benefit your game. You're also just going to be launching ships and bringing on different types of guests who will give you different types of bonuses. That is such a puzzle to get together. We haven't even reached like the objectives and the scoring that goes on in this game either, because there's like 3 different phases where you're going to be scoring more points. The first phase is a lot longer usually, but you're not going to score as many points. And then you go forward into the second, you'll score more points. Third, you'll score more points based on how efficient you are able to either accomplish the objectives or launch ships. And it's just an amazing puzzle that I really, really like to get together. It's, yeah, huge variability. I don't know what else I'm missing. I love this game.
I have 3
Love
things
this
to
game.
say.
I knew you were going to say that.
Thing number 1, this game has a really unique element that I don't think I know a single other game that has, and I want every single game to have it. It is a little, obviously it's a player aid,
yes,
that's
I know
not
what
what's
you're talking
unique,
about. Yeah.
but in the player aid there's a section that says,
I
I
need
want
this.
coins.
Yeah.
How do I get coins? And it tells you the various ways to get currency. Now, and that it does it for all the various resources in this game, and I think that's brilliant because that's the most frequent question somebody asks in a game such as this is how do I do that? Well, look in your little booklet.
Yes.
Second of all, what I said earlier about Tyler's other heavy game that he mentioned. I love when games just guide you through the motions. Everything you're making makes sense. What are you doing? You're marketing. Obviously, you need to get people on your cruise before it goes into space. If you send an empty cruise into space, that's a waste of billions and trillions of dollars.
You also shouldn't be marketing to people when you don't even have a ship.
Or marketing to the wrong people.
Exactly.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So everything connects, everything makes sense, and it's just such a joyous experience because you do begin to see and picture yourself on this cruise. All of a sudden, there's this beautiful room with activities that you really like. Maybe you should be on the space cruise instead of trying to run all of it. That's a lot of work for one person. And the last thing is the expansions in this game are just so good. I've been on the anti-expansion train lately.
This came with 2 mini expansions. This is only the base game, well, the deluxe base game. They came with 2 mini expansions, and then they just had a Kickstarter for an expansion.
The achievements, which we did get to sneak peek.
Yes.
But here's my number 3 point is I love modularity that does not seem overwhelming. Recently, I've joined the club of not enjoying the big boxes because big boxes to me are coffins. As soon as you get a big box...
Clarity, you mean like big boxes that hold all of the
expansions, yes. There's a ton of expansions. They all go into the same box. You'll never opening that box again. It is so daunting.
Yeah.
Like even a Wingspan I love very much. That big box scares me. I don't want to open the game because I'm like, what do I play with? How do I do this?
Right, yeah.
But I think this game introduces small little elements that are just so easy to introduce and interweave into. And the upcoming expansion, which is a little bit of a teaser and spoiler. Well, not spoiler. It's a little bit of illegal activity because it's not 2025. But it introduces things in a very subtle, graceful way into... If you play this game, it rewards you with more subtle ways to incorporate content. But it's all very intuitive, which I just love.
Yeah.
This game is great.
I mean, this game does the thing where it has these, like, simple things that can be mixed and matched. Like those actions that I'm talking about, when there's always 2 paired together, but those 2 might be different. And the way that you can utilize that changes the game actually quite a bit, in my opinion. And the combination of those can really, like, change the way you think about the game. The other thing that I really like is that the expert workers, they have a like special ability always, and those are variable, and that can actually change your game quite a bit too, whether or not it's rushing to get the expert workers, or maybe not rushing, or whatever it might be, but there's like reasons to maybe do these types of things based on just like the subtle changes in the modularity.
So good. Kids and Key Games, we have our eyes on you. I think this is their first game too, which is so impressive.
I have been waiting for this game for so long because I remember seeing this at like
so impressive.
2 or 3 PAXs ago.
Yeah. And I believe they have another game coming out in 2026.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Let's see
for
what they
more
do.
of this. And whatever comes our way. And that's my number 1 and Ilya's number 8, Galactic Cruise. Alright, before your number 1, we should probably do another hat check.
I'm steaming.
Yeah.
Do you want to see it?
No. Oh. That's some messy hair.
Is it good hat hair?
It's not bad, actually.
Well, it's ready here.
You've got some woof going on, I guess.
Because we're going to the swamp.
Oh. Well, I wonder what it could be.
Faya Swamp.
Yeah.
I'm putting the hat back on.
That's fair. This is Ilya's number 1. It is also my number 2.
Which means is our collective top game of the year.
It is our collective top game of the year.
That is pretty impressive.
That is true. Yeah.
That is very impressive. What's our second game?
I don't know.
Is it Moon Colony Bloodbath or Galactic Cruise?
Maybe Galactic Cruise. I don't know. This one is very obvious.
Because it's 1 and 2. Now, this game is from the same designers as Terra Mystica. We heard about it. We really wanted to play it. We played it. We loved it. We played it more. Easy as that. Now, where do I even begin? First of all, the presentation of this game and the theme in this game.
Very cool. Very
You're a
cool.
swamp. You have a clan. You're the leader of your clan. And you're getting different leaders to come help you out throughout the different rounds. Now, there's 7 cards that are dealt out of 10. And those 7 cards, each of you will choose 1 every round. And those cards are brilliant because they dictate what is your sailing range, speed.
Yep.
What is your building cost? What is your special ability or power or income or end of game phase activity? And who is helping you out this time?
Yeah.
But what you'll be doing is you'll be placing workers to take various actions to set your little ships to sail, to get little fishies and deliver little fishies to the outpost and then run celebrations because you've got the fishies and it's time to celebrate. And throughout all of that, you'll be inadvertently helping other players.
No, you need to. You'll need to.
But you don't want to.
No,
but you'll need to.
You do, because that's how you get money.
It is.
That's basically the way, that's the only way to really get money.
And it's just so interesting because there's this closed economy that just like really, you don't want to help other players, but you have to. So you're forced in this community, but you're trying to be the best, but you're helping everybody else. And the strategy elements and all the open information aspect of this is just brilliant.
Yeah, I really think that celebrating and getting or like dropping off the fish is fantastic. I think that the handoff is you're going to give your opponents a couple points here and there, and maybe they'll be able to utilize it even more so. But realistically, like that outweighs it in most instances, and you have to plan for that. And that's what I find really intriguing about the decisions that are going on. It's one of those games that you'll start off very slow because the board is quite empty, but you'll move and progress through building different, adding on to the islands that already exist. You'll unlock more workers, you'll unlock better abilities, your chance to move farther on the, while you're sailing, but you're also like scoring more and more points because of all of these things that you're doing. And it's this balancing act of how do I do these things effectively while also heading towards these goals that are at the end, because all of you are racing for it. Not in the sense that like I'm not going to score if I don't get it, but I'm going to get, there's 2 types of objectives, I suppose. There's goals that you are racing towards, that once you finish, you'll get points. If you're faster to finish, you'll get more points. But at the end of the game, there's also things that will just score for everybody. And based on that, you can kind of like shape your game and the strategy that you're playing, trying to optimize it the best way possible. The other tricky thing is the timing of the actions that you're going to be taking. Because of the way that the worker slots are, you'll often, if you're not the first, sometimes the second player to take the action, you'll have to pay for that action, and it can be at the detriment of the rest of your turn kind of thing. So you need to plan ahead, but also be ready to adapt for what's going on. And again, I said it before, I like that ability of you're not always certain what everybody else is going to do. You can take a guess, but because there's that element of I'm not sure, it is that opportunity to thrive in a way through adaptation.
And then all of a sudden you have a little bit of asymmetry with the different player boards. And I'm not usually one for games with open, complete information, because typically if you play more of that game, you just get really good at it, and it's not as fun to play with somebody who's really good at the game that you've never played. But I think this game handles it in such a good manner that there's enough variability with the goals and the different cards that come out for the leaders for each round, for each game, sorry, that it does feel like you have a chance each and every game. Even if Tyler has played this game and is really good at it, what you're doing with the information that you have, you still have a chance, and it's really fun to explore the different elements and combo off different things and just feel really smart in this game.
Yeah.
All of that paired this is a fantastic package, and this is also kind of a cheating game because I think it's an Essen release, and I don't know if it's super broadly available in North America.
I know it was an Essen release this year, and it was gone pretty quickly.
It was gone very quickly, but I know it's getting a broad release next year, and I know it's going to be widely available. So if any of that resonated with you, please, please, please check out this game. It is absolutely wonderful, and we're so excited to have shared it multiple times throughout this year.
Yeah, it's also one of those games, the last thing I will say is that the actions in themselves are relatively straightforward. What you're doing throughout the game on your turn flows. It makes sense, you do it, and then it just happens, and there's not a whole lot of, not necessarily a lot of downtime because it's pretty quick to come back around to you. So that's really nice, but there's a lot of depth to this game as well. I found it quite interesting, and I'm like Ilya has already said, we're looking forward to playing this more and more and showing it to people.
So fun. And that is
Ilya's number 1 and my number 2.
Bayas Swamp. Now that has been our top 10
of 2025.
Holy guacamole.
Lots of games played. I think I will pose the question to you. How has things changed for you in how you evaluate your top games of the year over the last 5 years?
In all honesty, it has not.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Because I am a person, and I guess maybe we should have mentioned this at the very beginning, but it's a nice closer, I think, is I'm a person that always looks for big moments in games. To me, a game is great if the one card flip happens and it is the most unlikely thing and it's so amazing and everyone just remembers that, and it's that memory that you hold really dear. And I think all the games on my top 10 list have that factor in one way or another. And other than that, I think it's just accessibility, and that's something I've been thinking about a lot, and I'm trying to really think about that because we're very, very deep into the hobby. Like even thinking about the other thing I was reading about is tables, for example. Most people don't have a board game table. So what does a game look like on a kitchen table or a coffee table? And is there enough space to accommodate everything that you're playing? And I'm trying to think of more of those things because at the end of the day, I want more people to play games. I would love if you're a person who has not played games, you just stumbled upon our video. Welcome to the hobby. We're happy to tell you about amazing games. But I don't want to.
There's a lot out there.
There's a lot out there, and I don't want to overwhelm people. So I think that's something I've been looking for more and more over the years.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know anymore. I feel like I'm trying to look for this like uniqueness that's going on, but there's so many games out there, and there's so many things that are done that like a lot of the times I'm just looking for games that I want to play over and over again. And I think that we're very fortunate to be able to play as many games as we are, but I also want to have games in our collection that I don't hesitate to take out, that I'm ready to play, that I know how to play, that I know how to teach, and that I'm excited to show other people. So that's what I think I really lean into. Now, that can vary from like very simple games to like quite heavy games, as you've probably seen in the list that I gave. But yeah, I don't know if it's changed per se. I think my opinion on like accessibility has definitely become more of a thing. I want people to feel like they're included in this space. I want people to know that there are lots of games out there and that it's not just this like wartimey type games that exist. Those are fun and there are places for those games for sure, but there's games about literally everything, and I think that we get lost in that sentiment sometimes, and we need to just like broaden that scope and say, hey, like all of these games exist. All of them offer certain things from light to heavy.
Well, I think it's also combating that perception, because I think anything negative, any hobbies that are negative, are always because of at least for me, I had a really bad experience with this particular
Right.
thing. So that's all I think about it, and I associate all of the things with that thing. So if you've had a really bad experience with a board game, that's often how you perceive all board games.
Yes.
So I think it's important to find games that really cater to people, and all of a sudden, if they're really, really interested in seashells, look at all these seashell games there are about collecting them and all of that. How can we make those ties to get people excited about something that we can share together in a day and age where everything is just so digital?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I think board games are becoming more and more important, I would say, is that I think people are looking at ways to step away from it, any kind of screen, and this is a way to do it, and this is why we get excited to talk about it, and we're happy to put together these lists.
So exciting. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. We are very close to 10,000 subscribers too.
We are.
So if you have not subscribed yet to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, because we do have a special celebration coming for our 10,000 subscribers.
Yes.
And if you enjoyed other videos,
enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Ilya's already done the subscribe thing, so just know that we appreciate your presence.
We do.
And we look forward to the new year. Happy holidays, happy new year. We'll see you in the next one.
bye!
Bye.